Live from our Jackson studios. Live from the Midtown Jackson studio and live from well into Deep 13. This is Last Call Cafe on Spreaker with the animalistic Jay the Brain Man, the analytic Matthew the Wizard Nichols, and the pause for consideration, Steve the Baxman Baxley. I'm Franklin Pangborn, your announcer, with Morgul as the friendly drone. Let's go to the cafe and find out what's going on and join the guys on a whole crowd. It's Last Call Cafe on Spreaker.
You're on.
Good evening, or whenever you're listening to this, folks. Welcome one and all to the Corsican Ball. This is another riotous edition of the Last Call Cafe on Spreaker. I am your erstwhile host, and trust me, I don't know the meaning of the word erstwhile, and frankly don't know the meaning of any of the other words in this world. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. Welcome. And I welcome my colleagues, my comrades, my brothers. And they are, of course, pretty good. Week 3 of the grand experiment here on Spreaker. So let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the man, the myth, the legend, the orange juice. He is the most intelligent man in the world of pro wrestling. Manager of the year, as he'll tell you, and the undisputed king of Intergender Championship Wrestling. That's right, he still holds that title belt very proudly. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Jay the Brain Man Presents Wrestle Anime Hut, the one, the only,
Peter is live on Apple Podcasts and other places too, just like this show.
and we're proud of that. Now we can make some money out of this. That'll be even better. Hey, how about the other guy? How about my other brother from another mother? Ladies and gentlemen, the man knows gaming like I know the back of my hand. Oh, that's front of my hand. There's the back of my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, he is gaming. He is every woman's fantasy. Ladies and gentlemen, the gamer's best friend, Alita, and coolest man on all hemispheres. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew, the Wizard Nichols.
Hello.
See? There you go. Mild-mannered, but with it always. Welcome, everybody. It is another night or day or whenever you will be listening to this on the many platforms that we are invading, and there are plenty that we are invading. We will, of course, bring you all that we can tonight on this little wunderbar of programming we like to call Last Call Cafe here on Spreaker. And without further ado, or don't, Monsieur Pangborn, if you will please, introduce.
Thank you. It's time now for Gamer News with your host, Matthew the Wizard Nichols.
Alright, this week on Gamer News, well, Epic Games announced Unreal Engine 5. They showed us a tech demo running on PlayStation 5, and Unreal Engine 5 is scheduled to launch in 2021, and Fortnite is going to be transferred to that engine once it comes out. In our news, Nintendo announced a new Paper Mario game called Paper Mario The Origami Key coming out in July of this year for Nintendo Switch. And that's pretty much it for Gamer News.
And that's Gamer News for this week. Join us next week for more. I'm Franklin Pangborn.
Okay, thank you, Pangborn. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Matthew. And, of course, we bring you the latest gamer news here on Last Call Cafe. Got some rather interesting little tidbits of information tonight. Little weird news. So let's begin, folks. It is, of course, our lock and trade here. This first little bit of news comes to us from the always classy England. The Dutch government has issued new guidance to single people seeking intimacy during the pandemic. That's right, they're advising them to find a sex buddy. That's right, you heard, a sex buddy. The National Institute for Public Health and the Environment says singletons should come to an arrangement with one other person, but parents should avoid sex if one of them suspects they have coronavirus, the advice says. The guidance comes after critics say that there was no sex advice for singles. Why do you think we're single? Think about it. Social distancing measures have been in place in the Netherlands since the 23rd of March, when the government imposed what it called an intelligent or targeted lockdown. The rules were far less strict than those of the country's neighbors, permitting small gatherings of people if social distancing was observed. But in guidance published on May 14th, the RIVM said, "It makes sense that as a single person, you also want to have physical contact during the pandemic. Should singletons choose to engage in sex, precautions should be taken to minimize the risk of coronavirus," the authority said. Discuss how best to do it to do this together, the RIVM guidance says. For example, meet with physical or sexual contact, for example, a cuddle buddy or a sex buddy, provided you're free of illness. Make good arrangements, hiccup if you can, with this person about how many other people you both see. The more people you see, the greater chance of starting the virus. The RIVM has also issued advice for people whose long-term partners suspect they have contracted the virus. Have sex with your partner because of suspected coronavirus infection. Sex with yourself or with others at a distance, if all it adds, suggests stories and beating the bishop together as possible solutions. As Monday, the Netherlands began the first stage of a 5-phase lockdown exit plan. As part of the first phase, librarians, hairdressers, nail bars, beauticians, massage parlors, and places providing occupational therapy were allowed to reopen on May 11th. The relaxation of restrictions came after Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte said the country had made headway in its efforts to bring the number of coronavirus infections and deaths down. A further 200 infections, 53 deaths were recorded in the Netherlands in the past 24 hours. In total, 43,880 have tested positive, with more than 5,500 passages. So, if you want to have sex with that special someone, make them more than your friend. Make them more than your friend. Make them your sex buddy. It'll last for a long time. Boy. Let's see. What else we got here? The futurists predict what sex life may look like. Oh, gee, must not be really a fun date. Okay, let's give you that little story. This from Mashable. The macro effects of the coronavirus impact are undeniable. Hundreds of thousands of passages, mass unemployment, life seemingly suspended in midair. But the pandemic's impacts have rippled down to the minute of daily life, like social media behavior and messages on dating apps. Uncertainty is now an inescapable presence. As someone who is single, I often toil over what sex and dating will be like after this is all over. When and if it's ever really over. While no one can know for sure, of course, I decided to ask futurists, people who stare uncertainty in the face, and we find out. And, well, Ross Dawson, futurist and co-author of The Future of Sex Reports, which was initially released in 2016, believes that the pandemic accelerated already existing trends. Online dating was already the top way couples meet each other, besides AshleyMadison.com. In the United States, pre-pandemic, people have fallen in love through screens for decades now. We've seen it's not just about sex, but intimacy and engagement. Tech that allows you to hold hands from afar, for example, was a Kickstarter campaign from 2014. Why did we not know about this? Why? I ask you. We got FaceTime. We're finding creative ways to connect intimately on all the other dimensions of intimacy. So instead of wham bam, thank you ma'am, it's wow, what an interesting thought. The emergence of online sex parties and mixers is also allowing people to dip their toes into worlds that they may have been hesitant to explore in the physical realm, like not safe for work sex parties, said Byron E. Cole, founder of Future of Sex and co-founder of Wheel of Foreplay. Makes Wheel of Fortune somewhat tame, don't you think? Anyway. So, wow. I mean, it's weird. It's weird, folks. Pandemic sex. Okay. Let's go to some more weird, if not cautious news. Offbeat news. Yes, we got it for you, kids. By the way, I don't think we need to do the story on how the government will pay you for a bleep job, so we'll just leave that for your imagination, kids. You might want to read. Okay, come on, let's get us to the weirder. Thank you for This Is Not the Onion. Oh, brother. Okay, we are trying desperately to give you more weird news, and then we'll get the general over here, and everything will be nice, calm, cool, and collected. If you don't believe me, ask around. Okay, let's get into it. Down boy. Well, okay, a woman has been accused. Believe it or not, all this comes from the Mirror. As government advises that the public wear face coverings in enclosed areas, enclosed spaces, up boys, such as shops. You take a look at the simple way to make your own. And yes, it is simple. As of Wednesday, earlier this week, government changed their stance on wearing face coverings during the coronavirus pandemic in the UK. As of Wednesday, May 12th, the new advice is that people should consider wearing face coverings in enclosed public spaces where you may be more likely to come to contact with people you do not normally meet. According to experts, enclosed public places include public transport such as buses, trains, and shops. Well, apparently, one person decided, well, it's obvious you can make anything into a mask, even, believe it or not, socks. A woman has shared a video on TikTok showing how you can easily turn an odd sock into a face covering. The video has gone viral, being shared across several social media platforms, including that bastion of truth, justice, and elevator music, Twitter. In the clip, the woman, who posts under the username at Safiagoune, Safiaaggoune, starts by taking the sock and turning it upside down so the toe end is at the top. She then folds the toe end over so that it's touching where the heel is, and takes a pair of scissors to cut along the fold. Interesting. Discarding the toe piece, the woman's next step is to cut all the way down the side of the sock that doesn't have the heel. She then opens the piece of fabric up into a rectangular shape. The fourth step sees her fold the piece of fabric in half widthways along the bit that was the heel, so you have one long straight edge and one that has a bump in the middle. Finally, she turns the fabric so that the bump is facing down, then makes two incisions along either of the smaller sides to create the straps to hold on the face. And voila! One face covering. But there's been a lot of comments about this woman's video. People on Twitter were amazed by the clip, one saying it was the simplest DIY version they've seen yet. Another commented to say that one layer of cotton isn't enough protection, so they suggested adding another layer of fabric. And a few say brilliant, a new use from some decent running socks and that have a hole in them. Someone else joked that the woman was magic for making it, adding, what is this, witchcraft? There you go. So if you have dirty socks, with holes in them, make them into a mask. Which ain't bad when you think about it. Let's see, one more. Nope, I think that's gonna do it for our attempt at weird news. Thanks to the Mirror for saving us at least total anarchy. Okay, we don't care about time. Time is relative. You don't believe me? Ask my relative. Okay, let's get to the general, our insidious belch of the week, and mon general. Oh, Hangmorn, please introduce.
And now it's time for the insidious belch of the week, presented by Ptomaine Helper. Make your feet happy with Ptomaine Helper. Available at any foot store in Sausalito. Now, General Big Jimmy Billy Bob Bo Schwartz.
Thank you, boss. Thank you. Stomachs in, chest out, except for you ladies. Remember, we do this with respect. Gentlemen, I see all three of you. So, boys, how y'all doing? Matthew, how you doing, sir?
Doing alright.
Brain, how's it
Good.
going for you?
Good.
Thank you. X-Man, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just here.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, let's go hand in hand, butt to butt, and wiggles and diggles, and we give tonight's little belch award to a well, we're going to have to give it to the media. And why are we giving it to the media? Because, well, they sort of had, especially one, we're going to give it to Fox News. They first said, oh, this coronavirus, this ain't nothing, blah, blah, blah. Well, now they changed their tune. And to them, they are a little late to the party. We all know what it is. And it's about time they just fess up to the fact that they blew it. So, Fox News, this belch is for you. Thank you, son. We're also going to give a little bonus belch to, well, we're going to give it to the governor of the state of Michigan. Why? Because through that, whatever that is, that Michigan business thing, they stripped a barber of his license to cut hair.
No.
Now, he has been joined in this by a female barber and a couple of others who have decided, oh, yes, please, correct.
I'm gonna belch for the barbers because they should know what the hell they should know what the hell's going on.
Okay, we are agreed that the barber should be belched.
Yes.
Why not, in Baxley? Okay, and Baxley?
Yeah.
I bet you'll be glad to get a barber. Yeah, I know I am. Okay. So, no cutting remark from me. Just give it to him. Let's get a belch for the barber. Thank you, boys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time. Dismissed. All right, thank you very much. Mon General. All right. Okay. Getting up there in the time zone here. Usually, by the way, we would have some music here. We're still trying to find some royalty-free music and some equally royalty-free comedy for you. So that'll be back next week, we promise you. Right now, let's Desperate Venezuelans turn to cow blood soup. Oh, lovely. This is what we're faced with. Okay, let's give a little wrestling news. We can do that. Why? Because we can. Let's get a little wrestling news going on here. And here we go. Ooh, this is fun. Now, as you know, Mike Tyson is going to be a part of Double or Nothing 2, AEW's pay-per-view Boogaloo. And Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, well, he had a lot to say about it. He took to Twitter today for 2 Flashback Friday posts on boxing legend Mike Tyson, who, by the way, stars in the Mike Tyson Mysteries on Adult Swim, only on the Cartoon Network. Tyson, who is the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame, attended AEW Double or Nothing in 2019 and the Jacksonville Jaguars NFL game also in that year. And those visits to the Khan family entertainment brands are reportedly what led Tyson making his AEW debut at Double or Nothing 2020 on the 23rd of May. As noted, Tyson will be there to present the new AEW TNT title belt to the winner of the tournament finals between Cody Rhodes and Lance Archer. Khan wrote in his first tweet, "Double or Nothing, our first AEW show. Mike Tyson came as a fan. He loves wrestling. We met and became friends. Now he's back 1 year later to present the hashtag TNT Championship belt for the first time to the first champion. Congratulations and good luck, Lance Hoyt and Cody Rhodes." Khan's second tweet included a photo of Tyson at the Jags game. There was a recent backstage report in AEW bringing Tyson in for Double or Nothing next weekend. And we got the full tweets from him. Oh, man. Mike Tyson, AEW. I ask you this in due respect. Do you think this is sort of shots fired big time? Because, as we all know, Tyson made WWE debut, WrestleMania. And, of course, he's in the Hall of Fame. You think McMahon's heard of this and going, is there any way we can get Tyson's name off the Hall of Fame banners? I don't know either, but man, oh man, Shevitz, let's get you some results here. Results of the 205 Live. We had Al's, thank you. And this one, we can get to it. Tyler Breeze won that one. Tony Nese versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher, the tattooed artist of the Stars. And Gentleman Jack Gallagher won. And that concluded the broadcast right there. Shocking but true. Only 2 matches for the show. Catchphrases. Gee. There's something new for you. Let's take you to the catchphrase. Let's take you to this little bitty here. Hey there. Jimmy Jacobs and Impact Wrestling's co-executive vice president, Don Callis, were on the post-show of Impact Wrestling called Aftershock. The two reacted to Rohit Raju's losing effort against Ty Miguel in the tournament for the Impact World title. I mean, we could speak candidly on this show, right? I mean, look, Rohit Raju has had a really rough ride so far in Impact Wrestling. We've seen that, And I think sometimes guys like Rohit, they let their anger and their emotions get the best of them. And I think Rohit has when he could chew, Callis said. But for once, he's finally in charge of his own destiny. And I think that's a new thing. Nice. Raju talked about what has hurt Desi Hit Squad's push a year ago, but Callis called out Raju for his saying that it's gotta go. But Jimmy, that one line's gotta go. My mother calls me son because I shine like one. My mother called me dumbass, but I wouldn't be bragging about it on this show, so there you go. And Callis' comments were what I just said, which is shocking. Callis hates it while the other guy loved it. Jimmy Jacobs loves the cliches. That's nice. AEW announced that they are releasing new custom sneakers. The Shop AEW website has released new custom sneakers for various wrestlers at the outrageously low price of $99.99. Sneakers feature designs for AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, The Inner Circle, Jurassic Express, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Matt Hardy, Broken or All Delete Wrestling versions, and the Young Bucks, dollars or pesos versions. The shoes are of the Super Kicks brand from Pro Wrestling Tees. Each pair takes 3 to 4 weeks to ship, and there are no refunds or exchanges due to the sneakers being custom printed. Here are the descriptions for the sneakers.
Super Kicks were custom molded and designed. Quality vulcanized, rubber sole, Super Kicks logo on sole, Pro Wrestling Tees logo on insole, 100% cotton canvas, printed with direct-to-garment printers. Sizes fit similar to Converse high-top Chuck Taylor All-Stars. Please know your size before making your purchase, as we cannot do exchanges. We suggest ordering 1/2 to 1 size down. Ooh, nice. AEW also sells custom-printed flip-flops with the Young Bucks logo, the AEW logo, and the Chanceladas version for Santana and Ortiz. The flip-flops go for the outrageously low price of $21.99. And they got some photos of the sneakers, which ain't bad. And by the way, congratulations to the man, Becky Lynch, who announced on Live Raw Monday that she and her engaged Seth Rollins are about to become parents. Aww, ain't that nice? Ain't that cute? Ain't it? I say that to you. Okay, what more do we have for you? Oh, goody. To Vince McMahon, we have some relatively unusual news for you to wrap up our wrestling report. And it's this. AEW turned a profit in April. They made a small profit, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. AEW's costs were reduced for the month, with TV not being taped each week due to the coronavirus pandemic. With that said, the reduction of cost is not enough to offset the loss of the live gates from what would have been 5 Wednesday night events for AEW Dynamite tapings. The reduction does help to offset that loss, but AEW still did slightly better than break even for the month. They were able to turn the profit between the money they received from TNT for TV, online merchandising sales, and costs being down by doing all the Dynamite and Dark TV tapings over 2 days in Georgia. Now, while AEW taped several weeks' worth of TV in just 2 days in Georgia, the company still paid all staff and talent and the production crew the same as they would have for 5 weekly shows. There were more cost savings from doing 2 shows where everyone was flown in and out at once instead of paying for everyone to make 5 trips to various locations. It was noted that AEW likely would have had a big month if COVID-19 never hit.
The company was expecting strong houses for Dynamite in Milwaukee, St. Louis, Boston, Philadelphia, and Houston, which were all canceled or postponed due to the pandemic. Rochester and Newark were expected to be two more high-grossing events, with Newark possibly setting AEW's all-time record for an event. And this period is where AEW hoped to start making back some of its financial losses from the first of this year. AEW President and CEO Tony Khan appeared on the AEW Unrestricted podcast, which you can see on their YouTube channel, earlier this month and addressed the lost revenue from not holding live events. What's great for me is that we've been able to recreate an audience out there. We've had some semblance of an audience. By far, the worst thing is losing our fans. Our fans are the best thing about our company. We talk about all the wrestlers that have been missing, but we've been missing all the fans. You go from 12,000 tickets in Newark sold and once having 10,000 people out there to now 10 people around the ring, but 10 is much better than none, wrestling in front of your peers and roughing in front of a crowd. I think it makes a difference. I'm a big fan of the territory, the studio wrestling, and the small audiences. Frankly, those are bigger audiences than what we've had, but at least in some kind of ballpark to what we're doing. I'm glad there were people out there to watch Cody and Darby and then Lance Archer versus Dustin to see these matches and give us some energy. But I would have loved it if we had those matches in front of 10,000 people. And, of course, if you want to see the podcast mentioned, go to the AEW YouTube page. And that, for want of a better word, is your wrestling report. Right here on Last Call Cafe on the L2C Podcast Network. Might as well call it that. Okay, and gentlemen, any new segments for you guys?
No.
Nope.
Okay, let's we'll just keep going here as we get to some media bites, the folks at Deadline. And I think after that, we'll just wrap it up here. A little heartbreak, as we all know. Jerry Stiller passed away. He portrayed Frank Constanza's father. He played Frank Constanza, and he also played the father of Lisa Remy's character in The King of Queens. Of course, his son, we all know, is Ben Stiller, whose claim to fame was, of course, a Fox show called The Ben Stiller Show, which was innovative in its own right. Of course, he made some movies, Zoolander, and, of course, A Night at the Museum. So, there you go on that. Let's see if we got some big news on the film stuff here. Warner Brothers is remaking Blake Edwards' classic movie 10 with Legally Blonde scribe Julie nice. And apparently Julie Andrews is executive producing. Oh, wow, this is brilliant news. I wish we can bring it to the public. Deadline has learned that a reboot of Blake Edwards' hit 1979 comedy 10 is happening at Warner Brothers. With Legally Blonde's Karen McCullough and Christian Kiwi Smith writing, Sue Kroll through Kroll and Company, entertainment exclusive deal at the Burbank, California studio, will, come on, reload. We can tell them about this big thing. Will produce alongside Jeff Nathanson, Julie Andrews, and Ashok Armitage. Will serve as executive producers. The original movie, which starred, for want of a better word, Julie Andrews, Right there. Dudley Moore and introduced us to Bo Derek. Followed a Hollywood composer going through a midlife crisis who becomes infatuated with a newly married woman. 10 was a box office hit, as we all know, and introduced and made Bo Derek a big star. The new version will take a comedic look at the question of what defines a perfect 10 in today's world. If you remember Shallow Hal, that's what they did. The new project will take the new contemporary reimaging will be inspired by the original film's wit, humor, and groundbreaking conversations. Stupid phone. Around sexual politics. 10 holds a special place in my heart. It captures Blake's charisma and his special humor that I so adore. What else does it have here? I am pleased that today's film goers will have an opportunity to join a new interpretation of this classic, remarked Julie Andrews. And I think that's going to be very good. So, congratulations. By the way, there are so many cancellations. Of course, the Hot Air Balloon Jubilee in Jackson canceled until next year. Excuse me, postponed to next year. We also have a cancellation of the famed Mackinac Bridge Labor Day Walk, which has also been canceled, and a few others, including now the Ionia Free Fair has also been given the gate due to the pandemic, which means that we're drawing closer to a couple of events that we all know and love, and one of which is the Arts, Beats, and Eats, and the other one is, of course, Youmacon. They're still on, but let's just hope we'll all be outside to watch all this. I think, now she had her little speech. I think we're still May 28th. I think it was the deadline, unless I'm wrong, and if I am, my apologies. But I don't know about all of you, but I'm not staying home. I go and help support the retailers, like with a new phone I'm going to get in about 3 weeks. Anyway.
So what's going to happen to Mega XP?
That is a good question. And in fact, we might as well say it. What's not only going to happen to Mega XP, what's going to happen to the JCF, the Jackson County Fair? We're coming up on we are coming up on on both of them. If you think about it, both of the summer traditions here in the Jackson area. So it all haggles down to one person and a deadline, as they say. And if she ups the deadline, we're going to be hearing about some big cancellations around here again, and one of them might be Mega, the other one might be the Jackson Fair. But again, we'll see about that when the time comes. But right now, it's kind of looking iffy.
So to talk about, my mom works at, it's being remodeled, and there was some news that someone over there had COVID-19, so the employees have to get tested for it.
Yeah, and I've seen the testing equipment. Ooh, not bad.
I don't know if you heard about that. Have you?
No, I have not heard about that.
Yeah, so Taco Bell's going to be closed for a while, so Mom's now on vacation.
Erg.
Which honestly is kind of a good thing because they've been making her work almost 7 days a week.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow and oi. To your mom, I give her a salute and a virtual hug for all she's done, as well as all others that have done some very good jobs during this pandemic. You are all our heroes.
Yeah. Also, Steve, have you been able to test out that streaming thing on YouTube yet?
I will be doing that tomorrow.
Alright.
So I'm going to re-download OBS, and we'll see if the two can interconnect, and if they can, we'll go hi there.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, there's a groovy picture on Facebook by Rolly Hill. Looks like a Viking with fire coming out of his hands. Got some awesome pics, folks. Awesome pics. From some good creative people. Okay, we are about. Are we almost at the point of saying our adieus?
We are at 46 minutes.
46 minutes from an adieu.
No, that's how much time we've gone.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case.
Yeah, remember we're not on a time limit anymore.
I keep forgetting that. We're not on time limit. We can go 50.
Well,
that's what we're going to do.
We can go 3 hours.
We can go 3 hours? Good night, everybody. No. Yeah, we could go 3 hours, but, well, we'll keep it under an hour here. Or somewhere on that. And we'll try to figure out a way we can put in some parody songs and such to sort of give you folks a chance to listen in on some great comedy and some weird singing.
By the way, Steve, do you still get that video of you singing I Lost That Jeopardy that I gave you a while back?
Yeah, I think I do.
And weren't you going to post it on your channel?
Yeah, I think I did. I'm gonna check it out, and I think I did. But if I didn't, I'm gonna do it. I'll do it either way.
Yeah.
So I'll take a gander and post it on my page and post it on my YouTube channel for everyone to listen and comment. I knew there was something I had to do for a long while. Something I neglected, and I apologize for my neglections. Today's quote is from the late, great George Carlin. Everybody appreciates your honesty until you're honest with them. Then you're a hole. George Carlin. He had a lot of good things to say about life, liberty, and all things happening here. By the way, Weird Al Yankovic got a boogie. Nice. Features My Bologna, amongst other classic tunes. An awesome record that I think is also now in CDs, so get it while you can. Get it while you can, folks.
So you still have the video, or do you want me to resend you it?
Yeah, better resend that video, my friend. I will make sure to place it on Facebook and YouTube as well. By the way, reportedly, the NHL and its Players Association are on the verge of an agreement to resume play, obviously with no fans. Yay! Okay, I think we have come to the exotic conclusion of tonight's little extravaganza. And again, as we say, don't worry, this is still a work in progress. And we will get better as the weeks continue to get more comedy in this and get a little bit of a creative flow here. It's not easy.
It does, Steve.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. It's not easy when you're trying a new thing like Spreaker, but when we get to the flow, we'll get better at this when the weeks continue, and hopefully we'll get monetized and we'll have sponsors, and this will be a real radio show, a real podcast. Right now it's a podcast in training. So bear with us as we continue to get our feet wet, as they say. But for now, I think that is going to wrap it up for us for this week. Next week, we'll do something more hilarious somewhere. I'll send Jay a few clips to put it on the waffle iron of Spreaker, so you folks can be entertained as well as morally corrupted by us. So, guys, any
Dear
further
Jesus,
words?
please smite my enemies. Dear Jesus, please smite my enemies.
I also forgot to mention that if you have the Epic Game Store, GTA 5 is free, the premium edition.
Oh.
Yep.
Cool. So Brain, anything to add or concuss us with?
All I gotta say is,
Dear Jesus, please smite my enemies.
and that's it.
Aha! He's back.
That's an audio clip.
Oh, good.
All
Folks, we are done. And next week, we're going to be better. Again, this is still a work in progress, so bear with us. We'll get better. Trust us. Have faith in this little thing we like to call a podcast. So for Matt, for Jay, for all the people behind the scenes and in front of your speakers, this is Steve the Baxman Baxley saying adios, aloha, wiedersehen, sayonara, and shalom, y'all.